Indonesia by Cindy Pacheco-Rowe and Diana Chiapetta. Indonesia is located in Southeast Asia above Australia and below Thailand and Malaysia. Indonesia is an archipelago country made up of over 17,000 islands with over 230 million people, the fourth most populous country in the world. Today, Indonesia is about 87% Islamic. Despite some pressure on the part of radical Muslim groups, Indonesia is a secular state with religious freedom for its four major religious groups: Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, and Hindu. In 2013, McKinsey & Company conducted a consumer research study of more than 5,000 consumers across 44 cities and rural centers in Indonesia. They examined a wide range of variables including demographics, household expenditures, brand preferences, and retail channels. The four key findings are as follows. First, the consuming class consists of 55 million urban and 15 million rural Indonesians. Indonesia's population is young, growing, and rapidly urbanizing, making it one of the fastest growing consumer markets in the world. The research of urban and rural populations found groups of consumers totaling about 70 million who are optimistic about their future and becoming increasingly sophisticated in their spending habits and product choices. The second key finding is that Indonesian cities are at different levels of consumerism, driven by the ability and proximity of consumer. In the last 14 years, Indonesia's population increased from 42% to 55%. By 2030, that share is expected to reach 71%. In turn, the contribution from urban Indonesia to GDP is also expected to grow from 74% in 2010 to 86% in 2030. In US dollars, that is $500 million to $1.7 billion. The third key takeaway is that while traditional retail channels dominate, modern retail continues to gain ground. Traditional retail channels, including mom-and-pop stores and wet markets, still dominate the retail landscape in Indonesia, but modern trade's share continues to rise, led by growth of convenience stores. When it comes to digital platforms, Indonesians are among the highest users of social media networks in the world. However, commercial activities and online shopping have low penetration. Consumers say that they simply don't trust online shopping yet, and they worry about payment safety, lack of sales support, and unreliable quality. The fourth key takeaway are that Indonesians strongly prefer and trust local brands, and the consuming class is driving growth in new emerging categories. Consumers trust Indonesian companies. They take pride in using local brands and believe that local companies truly understand Indonesian consumers, providing better value for the money when compared with foreign brands. Manufacturing in Indonesia. The manufacturing industry is quite developed in Indonesia, representing 24% of the country's GDPs last year. 15 million Indonesians are employed in manufacturing. Indonesia is responsible for manufacturing many products such as textiles, sportswear, plastic packaging, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics, and they primarily manufacture automotives, electronics, footwears, food and beverage, palm oils, metal products, and chemicals. Indonesia's main exports markets are China, Japan, the USA, India, Singapore, Malaysia, and Europe.
Other elements that affect a country's development are financial infrastructure, intra-entrepreneurship, management skill, and HR availability. Moving Indonesia's infrastructure forward has been a primary focus for the country. The formation of the Indonesian infrastructure finance has facilitated the development of target sectors such as transportation, roads, irrigation, drinking water, wastewater, telecommunications, electricity, oil, and gas. In terms of intra-entrepreneurship, Indonesia, in terms of sovereign risk, is better than several Western European countries, says Jerome Booth of Ashmore Investment Management in London. Explosive economic growth, political stability, favorable investment rates, snowballing tourism, and soaring land prices of up to 302% in Bali leaves the country as a great potential. In terms of management skill, Indonesia has been making a conscious effort to reach out to consultants and work with several other companies to try and improve their status. They have been focusing on things such as strategic management, general management, organizational development, leadership, human resource management, personal development, business development, marketing, all programs trying to reach out to different corporations and becoming an outsource venue for international companies. For Indonesia to sustain its future economic growth and to improve social welfare, it needs to invest in human resource. There is currently a positive correlation in individuals completing higher education. However, Indonesian universities are poorly ranked. The key to building an accelerated economic transformation is critical mass of well-educated and well-trained people. The government reforms in universities, trade schools, research institutes is needed to transform Indonesia into an innovation-driven economy. Despite increased years in school and greater overall participation in higher education, graduates are finding themselves unprepared for the job market and sitting pretty, waiting to find employment. Overall, Indonesia seems like a good investment and a potential. Thank you very much.